thought about why somebody would date you? It's a question I ask my new clients all the time. Whenever I'm doing a consultation to get a pre-approved member, I ask them during the time we're chatting, what is a reason that somebody would want to date them? Why should they pick you out of somebody else? And this is something that I think we should all stop and ask. We need to know our qualities. We need to know what it is that we're bringing to the table. And something that a new member of my agency said that really was so profound. I was actually really, really impressed. And I have to say, I don't hear this very often. And so this really caught me off guard when this gentleman was telling me that he's been spending a lot of energy thinking about his future partner and what kind of a life she would want. So therefore, what can he bring to make her life better? Even though he has not met this mystery lady, and that's going to be my job to find this person for him. What I really liked is that he thought about where she would be coming from. And I don't think people do this enough. I think people focus so much on when I ask them, hey, why would somebody date you? They're like, because I'm awesome, because I'm amazing, because I'm kind, I'm considerate, I'm this. But this gentleman took it a whole nother level and he said, because I want to offer these qualities to someone that will appreciate them, whether it was travel and success, income and children, and having flexibility, having the dreams of having a future business together. All of these different things that kind of popped up really brought to surface that it was a clear awareness that he knew he had a lot to offer somebody that would actually improve and enhance their life by being in a relationship together. I think that this was a very exciting moment of his revelation, and then listening to the difference between I'm just awesome to, hey, I actually have a generous part of me that wants to give more. So there's a difference between being with somebody because they make your life better, because they're just a positive part. You guys have fun doing things together. And there's another aspect of being in a relationship where the two of you coming together actually creates abundance. It creates new opportunities, whether it's having children together, whether it's buying a home together, where it's traveling, whether it's doing service work, whether you are doing charity work, whatever it is, the feeling of wanting to be in a partnership with somebody that brings you to your higher level, that creates the power couple, that is attractive, that you're looking for somebody to do and be the and then some with your aspects of life. So how much richer could your life be if you looked into your heart and soul and thought, okay, I want to find a partner that knows and believes and sees that their life is so much fuller because we've combusted together. Not just, oh, I'm a good cook, I'll take care of those things. It's I have so much oozing of goodness out of me that I have this to give. And I'm really curious because I think a lot of times people are so focused on, like, I don't know, like it's a playing cards game. Like they're just putting the pieces on the table and, hey, what do you have? What do I have? Let's exchange, instead of, hey, let's build this. Like, let's grow this. Let's create a forever future because we're really, 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 really willing to show up. The difference is that it's a matter of feeling like when you and another partner are going to come together, so much more is going to happen. Not just enhance, but it's going to actually just bubble to the surface. Like you already know you have a lot to give, but you don't even have to talk about all your great qualities. You talk about the fact that you're going to be solving things for that person. You're going to give them more opportunities. Bottom line is it's expensive to live by yourself. So when you have a partner, you are sharing in those expenses. If you are with somebody and you're able to build together, sharing a meal together, traveling together, but it's not just dollars and cents. It's actually saying, hey, We're here for you. We're here to be able to support one another. Maybe you come from a really big family and there's so much love and support. A new partner would enjoy all of the festive get-togethers, all the celebrations you'll have together. And that is something special because the person you're seeking might not get any of that and has been craving it. When you come with a bigger package deal, per se, you bring so much more. So I want you to dig a little deeper and think about this. What do you really bring a relationship is one part of it, but how will your future partner benefit by picking you? You know, the reality is there's a lot of layers that we bring to any relationship, but we need to know why somebody should pick us and why we should feel as though we're actually bringing something more to their life. Because the truth of the matter is, in this time of age where COVID got everybody pretty comfortable with themselves, you got to dial it up. You've got to be ready to bring some gold to the top. You have to be ready to say, hey, being with me is better than being single. And that's pretty awesome to think about when you want to step it up. So I want to hear from you. What do you feel is that extra that will make it so the person being with you will have so much more wealth and abundance, not financial, just about their heart, their soul will be better. They will have more family time. They will have more travel and freedom. Life will get easier because you two are together. Life will be more joyous because you two are together. Life will be much sexier because you two are together. Intimacy will be so much better because you're a passionate person. You're not looking for a hookup. You're looking for a relationship. You're going to be there during the good times and the bad times. You're going to be there when they need you and when you need them. There's so much more to a relationship that I feel like people are missing, that they're too caught up in their own little basket of goodies over here. And they're not realizing when you bring the two basket of goodies together, how you can each cross-reference and benefit. So let me know why somebody's life would be better because they get to be your partner. How is forgiveness playing a role in your finding the love that you desire? I am Jacqueline, and I am the matchmaker for Discover Love Matches. I founded and created this agency actually out of my need to forgive somebody who hurt me. And I wanted to find a way to support people in love because love can be beautiful and multiplied, but love can hurt. Love can be brutal when it's not being nurtured and cared for. So I am about forgiveness. I have really dug deeper and deeper into the concept of forgiveness as the years have progressed. And actually, a lot of my travels over the last few years was in spending time in different places. And the one spot that really triggers my desire for forgiveness is Playa del Carmen, Mexico. It's such a beautiful, healing, nurturing, loving space. And I found that when I would get into a deep tissue massage moment and I was just relaxed, thoughts of forgiveness would come to my surface. And I always am intrigued, like what's on my mind when I am letting myself truly just be vulnerable and relax. And forgiveness is something that isn't easy. It's actually really hard. And I know I have a lot more work to do on this, but I have been consciously trying to reach out to people that I have hurt or they have hurt me, but they're good people. So it was maybe a misunderstanding, a miscommunication, a bad time in our lives, whatever it was, that lack of forgiveness is holding weight in my space and it's holding me back from trusting new people and it's holding me back from healing with that other person. And so I've been focused on forgiveness in so many ways. And I find that as I talk to people in the consultations for them to become a matchmaking client, the part that's really important is understanding where they are in their forgiveness journey. If they're still upset at their ex, if they're still spewing negativity and it's just bubbling out, to be a soft way of saying it, but it's not making them pleasant. Nobody wants to date that. Nobody wants to be around that. If you are somebody who is an unsolved business. You have a lot of details to work out with the ex. You are probably somebody who needs to get some forgiveness going. Do you have somebody who needs to forgive you, that you need to be able to say an apology and actually mean it? I think so many times we forget to actually ask for the apology or receive the apology. We just kind of go back to business as usual. But we also sometimes forget that the other person that we're waiting for an apology from might be waiting for us to reach out. We might be the person that they are upset with, and we don't even realize it. Something that has become more obvious these last few years is how much we think about ourselves, and we forget to think about where the other person is coming from, what it feels like in their shoes. So how are you on your forgiveness ratio? Do you feel like you're waiting for some people to forgive you, or do you have some people you need to forgive? Forgiveness is really for you. It's about your life. It's about your dreams, because you don't get to control how the other person receives your forgiveness or accepts your forgiveness. But you also have to realize that they don't get to choose how you respond to you forgiving them. So there's so many ways to make forgiveness something part of your healing, but you have to also be willing to realize that as much as you might be upset at them, they might be upset at you. And if you both just spend a little bit of time together, you might actually realize you both are kind of holding on to just sand that needs to slip through your fingers and needs to be let go of. So I'm curious where you are on your thoughts with forgiveness. Do you believe that you can forgive and let go? Do you forgive and forget? Do you kind of keep that nugget of, okay, I forgive you for what you did, but I'll never fall into that trap with you again? Do you hold the grudge? Do you hold the levels of disappointment? Or do you truly walk free and not hold on to anything that is holding you back? And when you forgive all the way. You start with a fresh slate. I'm so looking forward to your comments below about forgiveness, because you know what? Forgiveness is healing. It is powerful, and it actually will really make a difference in your life. And I am so thankful I have been aware more and more of how I need to work on my forgiving others. And I also need to be aware that I might need some forgiveness from other people in return too. So comment below and let me know what you think about forgiveness. Last week, I noticed a bunch of new people signing up for my program. And I am really impressed when I see all of a sudden a burst of new people that join. And what often happens is something changed. Now, in matchmaking, I will tell you it's often weather related. When the season changes, more people decide they're ready for something more. If they want a difference in relationship, we're falling into the fall season. So it's cuddle season. The weather is changing outside. The days are getting shorter. So therefore, people start to think, hey, I should be more proactive on my dating experiences. So I often get a lot of new people this time of year. I am Jacqueline, founder and creator of Discover Love Matches. And what I find is fascinating is when there are these different surges of people, all of a sudden the memo gets out and everyone's ready to get back into the dating groove. Well, I had another experience that really caught me off guard, and I was so pleasantly surprised by it. I was talking to a new gal that had filled out a profile on our site at discoverlovematches.com. And when I followed up with her, she said that she is part of a Facebook group that a bunch of people are just kind of frustrated with dating. They were wondering, like, how do you meet good people? Where do you go? What do you do? And someone anonymously piped on and said they knew about me and my agency, and they had wonderful things to say. And I don't know who this was. I don't know what they actually said, but she said it was so nice to see that there was somebody out there to talk about my agency, because she didn't know I existed. And the neat thing about that is that she took it into digging in and listening to more of the comments. And she said actually multiple people commented about my agency, and that I am the answer for the Pacific Northwest for matchmaking. I am the one who goes above and beyond for my clients. And I really loved it, because the person that posted this message to get the word out, has no idea the ripple effect that now I have clients because she cared or he cared anonymously enough to post something about what I do. And that is what I think we need to start doing more often, anonymous or not, but we need to let other people know our opinion of things that we like, things, experiences, services that we like, places we like to go to, because I know myself, I am way more likely to accept a recommendation from a friend, a social connection, than I am from some commercial out there. I mean, they do say the social media is really the biggest way to get that influence happening. And I am so privileged because I have very, very wonderful experiences. 13 and a half years of matchmaking has brought me lots of great couples, lots of marriages, and, you know, seeing these couples that have come together knowing they never would have met if it wasn't for them being a part of my agency and trusting the process. But it also took them a moment to find out who I was and what was going on. So in our program, when somebody fills out their profile, they answer how they heard about us. So it always intrigues me how people learn about my agency. Google's very good to us. People are always asking, where do we find a lot of our clients? And we just get a lot of people that are proactive in their dating journey. But also sometimes you need like a little side comment in a chat box like this gal did, that she was in a chat group, I should say, that helped her think, hey, I should check this out. It's hard to put yourself out there vulnerably for dating, and you want more success. But whomever this anonymous person was, I want to say thank you. Thank you very much, because that person has now inspired more people. Yes, of course, I love to see my business really grow, but it also really touched my heart that somebody cared enough to say, this is the answer to your dating needs and questions, and that they did it with no expectation of acknowledgement in return. Because I am one of gratitude, I am very thankful. I don't know who this person is to say thank you. I don't even know what else was said in the thread of this Facebook group, but I do know that somebody was positively impacted by this message. And I also know that others have come to me recently that I think could have come from that group. They haven't said so, because people always keep it pretty private how they learn about me. But I just want to say, take the time to do a shout out to the businesses that you like. Tell people why they should go to your favorite restaurant. Tell people why they should go and get the favorite clothing or jewelry, or your favorite little hole in the wall place that you really enjoy. Be that person who helps a positive ripple effect happen to a business in your area, a business online, an entertainer, a provider, whatever it is that you really enjoy. Let other people in on the scoop so that that business can enjoy the benefits. But there's just nothing like the best compliment of somebody with nothing to gain for themselves, but a generous heart and spirit wanting to say, hey, I know the answer of where you should go. So have you got some businesses that you should send a little like referral on, do a little video, do a little, tag in a post about? What is it that you're doing to help positive impact on the ripple of relationship possibilities in the love world? I am so grateful because I get lots of referrals. I have been very blessed with that, but I usually know who the person is referring. They're either a longtime friend, a colleague, somebody I've worked with, or they are a success story. So this was neat because it was somebody I have no clue who they are. I've touched a lot of lives in the years I've worked, and also knowing that they were not even reaching out to anybody specific. They were just kind of telling the group that by being a part of my agency, there were positive possibilities available. So shout out to those that care to do the extra and then some. Let me know what businesses and services you have been wanting to promote and tell people about. I would love for you to like, comment, and subscribe, because we've got to keep this conversation going, because this is how we all make the right connections. I'm looking forward to seeing and hearing and reading what it is that you are doing to make a positive ripple in the direction of your dreams. So my question for you is, do you want to stay single or do you want to be in a relationship? I know that sounds like a pretty simple question, but it's so not at all. We are always in a state of go away, come here when it comes to relationships and dating. So if you're actually single, are you somebody who kind of likes being single and you like to stay single? Or are you somebody in a relationship wondering if you should not be in that relationship? Staying single is something that we do choose. As much as I understand it can be frustrating when you're looking for your match, you are choosing who you have in your space, how available you are to other people, and also what it takes to be in a relationship isn't always easy, but it does have its rewards. I am Jacqueline, founder and creator of Discover Love Matches, and I do a lot of appointments with a lot of different people. We have clients from their 20s to their late 70s. So I have all the background information on people, and something that I can tell very quickly is why somebody is single. Yeah, there's actually a reason. And if you're somebody who's saying, there's nobody good out there, I can't ever find a good date, dating is tiring, dating is exhausting, I've been single for so long, and you are frustrated, there's actually a reason you're single. And it's not just you saying, hey, there isn't anybody good, but it does have more to do with the fact that there actually are really great people out there. Because I have so much inside knowledge on singles, I actually know that there are incredible people looking for their relationship. The thing is that people are not going deeper. They are not being vulnerable. They are not asking real questions about the other person. They are not clear about what they actually want in a relationship. They are also not willing to date in a way that attracts a relationship. They're dating in a way that they have an exit strategy, that they can get out of the situation. So they date for a hookup, they date for someone to go out on a Friday night, they spend more energy of whether they should reach out, reply, add in comments to the person, or not say anything, or they leave short little messages. They don't really engage. So, you have to stop and look at your own life and where you're at. Do you actually want to be in a relationship? Whether you are in one or not, you still have to choose if you want to stay in it or you want to continue pursuing finding your person. And this is something that is really, really powerful. People forget all the time that they have the choice. They get to choose every day. You wake up and decide, am I going to nurture this relationship I'm in, or am I going to be open and available so that when I do meet somebody special, I'm ready to receive them? This is something that you get to choose. You do every single day, every type of relationship you're in. You are constantly in a choice spot. Even if you are in the nothing's working, you are still in that choice of believing that nothing is working. This is a big, huge, beautiful world. And there are a lot of people out there, and I get to know them. And so I just want to give you one thing first and foremost. There are still quality singles available. They have not all been taken. They are not all unavailable. They are single and looking just like you. But life has been distracting. Circumstances are out there. They have some bad dating patterns. They are really caught up in their life and not ready or willing or desiring to make room for somebody unless it's going to work. I do get this comment a lot: if I'm great in a relationship, it's just getting me to the relationship is the hard part, because it's all that icky, sticky, icky, awkward. Do I ask them out again? Do they like me? Do I like them? Do I enjoy them? Do I trust them? Do I want to be naked with them? Do I want to be close to them? Do I want to be connected? And it's hard. We don't know. We don't know what the outcome's going to be. And we can definitely tell our heart and our soul that we remember the times we've been hurt, we've been lonely, we've been away from any connection. So when those things happen, it's harder for us to be vulnerable. It's harder for us to put ourselves out there. But I will promise you, getting locked into all of those broken pieces, the parts of misinformation, the fear of being close to somebody, those situations are going to keep you single if they get the spotlight, if they get all the attention. So you need to decide. Let me know in the comments below. Are you actually single looking to be in a long-term relationship? Are you single looking for just some cuddle time and somebody to have some fun with? Are you in a relationship and just wishing you were in a better connection with that relationship? Or are you in a relationship and you're thinking about exiting? Where are you? I want to know. I really want to know, because this is where we make those pivotal moments when we decide, what are we all in for? Whatever you're doing in life, it's better to be all in. It's better to just dive in, embrace it, see what's possible, and then you have no regrets. If it doesn't work or the other person isn't interested, at least you can know that you gave every possibility for it to work. I think of many times that I have gone out with people that I enjoyed their company, but I saw no future with them. And it was so hard to get close because I already knew my exit strategy. The truth of the matter is that the thing that irritates you the most about being in a relationship once you're in one is often the thing that you were having the hardest letting go of when you were single. So if you want to stay single, hold on to your old beliefs, your old thoughts, your obstacles that have kept you kind of blocked away, kept your walls up, kept you distant. And sometimes that's going to work for a little bit. But the truth of the matter is, most people want to be with somebody. They want a good, healthy, positive relationship. But you have to feel good within first. So it all comes down to you. You need to do the self-care. You need to do the journaling. You need to get clear about who you want in your life. What would it be like to have that person in your life? And how will that feel? Because you have to start to work on recognizing qualities in individuals when you are out dating, or when you're in a relationship. You need to be able to notice what it is that you like about that person. What are you enjoying about them? Because when you allow yourself to actually see the other possibilities, and you actually let yourself see the other person more clearly, you're going to start to decide and realize you kind of like their company. You like having somebody in your space. You like having somebody to plan things with, share ideas with. There's nothing as beautiful as a really good, genuine conversation with somebody that cares about you, somebody that you can be vulnerable with, somebody that you can be authentic with. And that happens while you invest in a relationship. Whether you are brand new at a relationship, or you are thinking about getting in a relationship, or you've already been in one, give yourself and your potential partner or your actual partner a chance to actually know you. Because I bet you they are also craving for that deeper connection. They are wanting that so much more. I can tell you, some of the most memorable people I've met are the people that I've had spontaneous and amazing conversations with. The people that all of a sudden I've just clicked, the words just flowed, the energy flowed. Those are the people that give me a zest for wanting to know more about them, and hence be around them more. Now, the person who's only talking about sex, only wanting to hook up, only wanting to review your body or their body in a sexual, intimate way, it's fun, but there's no depth to it. There's no extra layers to it. There's no substance to it. So in order to not be single relationship wise, now you can be dating a whole bunch of people and still be extremely single. So I want you to tell me, what is it that you need to do differently to not be single because you want something different? Or how do you refresh the relationship that you are in? I am Jacqueline, and I'm here to support you on your love journey. And I want to know what is holding you back from finding the relationship you desire. Let's talk about the power of thank you. Yeah, it's a simple 2-word statement that means so much. I am Jacqueline, and I love supporting people on enriching their lives through love, life activities, partnerships, ventures, living to the fullest. And something that I often like to do is surprise people. With my matchmaking agency, occasionally I will toss in some surprise upgrades to a few people. I'll give people a free ticket to something. I'll send them some bonus gifts of content or information at no request of theirs, but out of a feeling of surprise generosity. Because honestly, I love a surprise. I love an unexpected gift from somebody. I love knowing somebody wanted to do a little and then some for me. So I love to do that in return. So I, though, being somebody who loves to give, the only thing I ever want in return is a thank you. Now, it is all about, you got to give unconditionally. And I have definitely learned that lesson, because it's not fair to give with an expectation of something in return. But out of the world we live in, I would think the one thing I should be able to kind of count on is a thank you. And I have to say that even though I give my gifts to wonderful, generous, kind, giving, loving people, yeah, they don't always tend to say thank you. Let me just be honest with you. And it made me think about, have you found this to be the case? Gratitude is kind of lost. They forget to acknowledge, say appreciation, something they didn't have to pay for or even request, but then they enjoy taking advantage of what has been given to them. It's one thing if you give something and the person doesn't utilize it, if they don't acknowledge it or take advantage of the service or the product or the experience that was given to them. But those that do, it surprises me when somebody doesn't just stop and say, thank you. I appreciate that. That was nice of you. I'm grateful for that. And so I have learned that I need to always make sure I give with no expectations, even the expectation of a thank you. But I will tell you, a thank you will go really, really far. So I want to hear from you. Have you had moments where you've given and then you kind of felt it went flat, like the person didn't even realize how much you just gave and how generous you were being? Or did they just take it for granted that they just assumed they should get that from you? Or they forgot to realize that actually that was a giving gift. It wasn't something implied or expected. And I am curious about your stories. Have you had this happen? I know for a lot of people, they're very generous in so many aspects, but they forget to receive generously too. When you are receiving something, even if you didn't ask for it, but it has been given to you, it is important to acknowledge, just like the simple thing of the act of somebody holding the door open for you, saying thank you is nice, or even being the person who holds the door open and you want to hear a little thank you in response. It's very little, but it's actually a huge reaction. Recently, I wanted to take a friend out for her birthday dinner, and she surprised me while I was busy doing something else and took care of the tab. It was so generous of her, and it wasn't expected. I was all prepared to treat for her because it was her birthday. So sometimes that reciprocation is unexpected, but it's also very important to show gratitude when you aren't expecting. You had a different plan in mind. And I want you to think about the times that you maybe could have said a little more of a thank you, or maybe you should say thank you, even if it's a little late. I think we forget to stop and pause and appreciate what is right there. Never do we ever want to become the person who takes it for granted. So it's kind of funny because I do a little test every once in a while and I'll send out a special gift or something. And I will tell you that even though my clients are the coolest people and they're very wonderful and they're beautiful, kind, giving, lovely individuals, they aren't really the best at a thank you. And I really make note of that. And I think that what happens in the dating world, we can get so caught up in what it is that we want that we forget that the other person also is observing what they want in return. When you are single for a long time, it's you, yourself, and all that you can think about. And it's hard to remember that we need to also give back. So I will say maybe 15, if I'm being generous, 20% of the people that I will surprise with a bonus actually say thank you. And I don't think they even realize they aren't saying thank you. And so it made me think about this on so many levels. Like, you know, if you take somebody on a date, do they take it for granted? I was watching a video of a gal that was like, hey, this guy wants to take me out. I'm not really into him, but I'd love to go get some oysters. You might have seen this video. And she managed to eat 48 oysters all by herself. And as she's just like diving into all of this stuff, focused so much more on the enjoyment of eating the food than having any kind of a conversation. The guy actually got up and went and paid for the drink he asked her out for, and then left and said, hey, you really weren't here for me. You were just here to get a free meal. And so people have been commenting about this. And I thought, you know what? Good for him. He absolutely was being taken advantage of. She had no interest in building anything more with him. She just had a little bit of free time and sliding him into her schedule because she wanted some free food. Like, no, 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 no. So the thing is that we have to step back and be like, take some gratitude, take some time to pause, take some time to stop and think, how does the other person feel? Even if you're not a match and you say, thank you so much for asking me out. Thank you so much for messaging me and wanting to get together. Thank you so much for your wonderful comments about my profile. Whatever it is, even if you're not interested, you can still say, thank you. You know, it's a gracious way to be, it's a respectful way to be, and it's so important to make the extra move to go forward on your level of who you are. It's not always about what the other person's doing, it's what you are doing. So my giving of extra gifts or extra bonuses, or we'll host an event and I'll give a whole bunch of extra gifts that they weren't expecting. I laugh at the fact that there's those people that will be like, oh my gosh, this was so wonderful. And then there'll be those people that are like, oh, well, this wasn't quite high enough caliber of goodies and treats. When I'm like, that wasn't even part of the ticket price. This was an extra. So people like to find something to complain about. They forget to stop and appreciate. But you know what? If you just focused in and honed in onto your gratitude, and every time somebody did something nice for you, you said thank you. You took a moment to pause and appreciate them. You would find a much better outcome. And the other person would be more receptive to continuing the engagement of the conversation. So let me know what you think about thank yous. Even the nicest, classiest, sharpest people I know aren't always that great at saying thank you. What is your thank you quadrant of level of communication? Are you really good at thank you? Or are you kind of like, oh yeah, I just say, oh, that was nice. You know, you kind of pass it off. Or do you not even acknowledge it? I'm super curious. So comment below, like, subscribe so we keep this conversation going. I really want to know what your thoughts are on thank you.